people into extreme poverty. Projections show that water scarcity will be exacerbated. Improving climate and environmental conditions is possible by conserving, protecting, and restoring biodiversity and ecosystem services for food and agriculture, and integrating climate change adaptation and mitigation into agri-food systems. Our region, with its breathtaking biodiversity hotspots like the Amazon, the Andes, and the Mesoamerican corridor, plays a crucial role in this endeavor. Better life for the people, for the planet. Latin America and the Caribbean is the most unequal region, with persistent levels of rural poverty that disproportionately affect women and indigenous peoples. Exposure to multiple and rapidly increasing risks is making agri-food systems vulnerable to different crises and shocks, affecting rural livelihoods, especially in countries with high rural poverty and extreme poverty levels. In Latin America and the Caribbean, 25% of the population identifies as indigenous or Afro-descendant, while women constitute 36% of agri-food system workers. Inclusive rural transformation and enhanced resilience in agri-food systems are a priority. Together, we can achieve these priorities: better production, better nutrition, better environment, and a better life for all. Let us unite for a sustainable, inclusive, and brighter future in Latin America and the Caribbean. Según el informe Panorama Regional de la Seguridad Alimentaria y la Nutrición 2023, 43,2 millones de personas actualmente sufren hambre en América Latina y el Caribe. A pesar de que se registra una leve mejora en el último periodo, los niveles de hambre continúan por encima de las cifras de 2019, previo al COVID-19. Esto producto de las consecuencias de la pandemia, la crisis climática y los conflictos armados, así como la desaceleración económica, el aumento de la inflación alimentaria y la desigualdad de ingresos. La situación varía en las subregiones. A diferencia de Sudamérica y Mesoamérica, en el Caribe se observa un aumento en la prevalencia de hambre e inseguridad alimentaria en comparación con 2021. 247,8 millones de personas en la región experimentaron inseguridad alimentaria moderada o grave en 2022, es decir, 4 de cada 10 personas de la población, afectando principalmente a las mujeres y personas en situación de pobreza o con alguna condición de vulnerabilidad. No solo eso, la región enfrenta una contradicción importante. Los niveles de sobrepeso y obesidad superan las estimaciones globales. El 8,6% de los niños y niñas menores de 5 años tiene sobrepeso y 1 de cada 4 adultos padece obesidad. Además, el costo de una dieta saludable en la región es de $4,08 al día por persona, limitando el acceso a ella al 22,7% de la población. La seguridad alimentaria y la nutrición es parte fundamental de la salud de las personas y para el desarrollo de los países. La situación es crítica, pero juntos podemos marcar la diferencia. Es hora de actuar.
Déjate seducir por el verde esmeralda de sus pasturas y las aguas multicolor. Descubre cerros y llanuras con la huella del caballo fiel de las faenas vespertinas. Disfruta sonidos y sabores de ambrosía, mitos y leyendas que se entretejen en paisajes inigualables. Esta es la ruta del embrujo llanero. Bienvenidos al Meta.
Donde encontrarás música, folclore, flora, fauna, una gran biodiversidad, pero también su gente amable, su gente amorosa, con todos los productos de nuestra tierra llanera.
El Meta me fascinó, me quedé aquí echando raíces. Es un mar verde, eso es lo que más me gustó. Y la abundancia de agua, el suelo, el bosque. También que aquí en esta tierra se puede sembrar, producir durante todo el año.
Conéctate con la naturaleza, sus maravillosos paisajes. Vive y siente la cultura llanera y disfruta al máximo de productos únicos que brotan de esta tierra. El Meta, despensa agrícola colombiana, labrada por familias devotas a su tierra que se unen para impulsar el campo.
Junto con la red de abastecimiento del Meta, donde somos alrededor de 25 asociaciones, 550 familias productoras de la región, tenemos canales de venta como lo son los mercados campesinos, como tenemos la red de abastecimiento que es nuestra plataforma digital para venta de productos a nivel nacional.
Ya tenemos nuestro logo, nuestras redes sociales que es Facebook, Instagram, nuestra página web, nuestro empaque y etiquetado para nuestros productos. Y todo esto es muy importante porque estamos trabajando para tener una marca propia.
Lo que buscamos es hacer el acercamiento con el turista para que conozcan de cerca nuestros procesos, para que se enamoren también del campo, de lo que hacemos con tanto amor y con esfuerzo.
Las familias del Meta te esperan para compartir lo mejor de su tierra. Te invitamos a vivir experiencias únicas en la ruta del embrujo llanero, tierras fértiles, riqueza cultural, deporte extremo, gran biodiversidad y agroturismo. ¡Te esperamos!
Latin America and the Caribbean recorded progress in reducing hunger and food insecurity compared to other regions of the world, according to the latest estimates presented by the Food and Agriculture Organization. However, the scenario continues to be worrisome, with 43.2 million people suffering from hunger. The reasons are multiple: poverty, climate change, the socio-economic consequences of the pandemic, and conflicts, among other factors, continue to affect the most vulnerable. It is time to move from commitment to action. In March 2024, the 38th FAO Regional Conference for Latin America and the Caribbean will be held in Georgetown, Guyana. For 3 days, heads of state and government, ministers, parliamentarians, representatives of civil society and the private sector from FAO's 33 member countries in Latin America and the Caribbean will meet to address regional priorities, translated into FAO's mandate as an objective, clear, and realistic response to combat hunger in the region. Multiple actors from across the region have forged synergies to contribute to national efforts towards more efficient, inclusive, resilient, and sustainable agri-food systems, and support the 2030 agenda promoting better production, better nutrition, a better environment, and a better life. We can create a new reality and build a Latin America and the Caribbean free of poverty, hunger, and inequality, leaving no one behind.
المياه بالنسبة لي
الagua para mí.
Water to me is life.
Humans, animals, plants all depend on water.
Water to me, well, it's everything.
It's our food, our energy, and even the clothes that we wear.
Water to me is a scarce resource. We need to use new technologies for rational use and water conservation.
We need
to recycle used water to reduce water scarcity.
Water is fundamental to grow and produce our food.
We need to produce more with less water.
Water to me is fun. I like to play and swim in the water.
Water to me means sustainability. It keeps life on our planet in balance.
We need to keep the water clean to have a healthy life.
Water to me is a human right.
In my region, people struggle to get water.
We need to distribute water evenly and make it accessible to everyone.
We need to preserve water for the life of our planet. We have to start now.
We will always, always need water.
En su visita a Cuba, en el marco de la cumbre del Grupo de los 77 y China, el director general de la FAO, Chu Dong-yu, recorrió la finca agroecológica Vista Hermosa, que produce hortalizas, leche, productos lácteos y carne, según los principios de sostenibilidad social y ambiental, en línea con las 4 mejoras promovidas por la FAO. La finca se beneficia de varios proyectos implementados por la FAO en el país y forma parte de la iniciativa 1000 Aldeas Digitales, que promueve la organización desde 2020 para ampliar el acceso y uso de herramientas digitales en los sistemas agroalimentarios.
FAO nos permitió a nosotros, pues, de alguna manera acceder a conocimiento, a capacitación y sobre todo también a recursos que nos han permitido a nosotros, pues, poder diversificar nuestras producciones, poder humanizar mucho el trabajo y poder dar un salto cuantitativo, incluso de concepto. Con Coviman lo que hicimos fue incorporar equipamiento con un criterio que permitiría poder ilustrar y demostrar a otros productores lo mínimo que se necesita para dar un salto productivo importante a una escala pequeña productiva. Las aldeas digitales nos abre otro mar de oportunidades de muchas cosas que hasta ese momento nosotros ni pensábamos, ni sabíamos que existían. Hoy el mundo es digital prácticamente para el comercio, para la búsqueda de información, para promoverse, para interactuar incluso con los clientes y con posibles proveedores. Es realmente un cambio sustancial de cara al desarrollo de Vista Hermosa.
Esta finca tiene todas las características por los temas agroecológicos, por los temas del género, por los temas de las buenas prácticas en la producción, por los temas de diversidad que tiene, por el uso de la materia orgánica. Además capacita, tiene también el trabajo con los jóvenes, con los niños. Usted reúne aquí todas las condiciones. Es una concreción ya de la Ley de Soberanía Alimentaria, con las mejoras también que la FAO promueve, o sea, con calidad en los alimentos, con buena nutrición, amigable con el medio ambiente y por tanto da una vida mejor, porque eso da ingresos, da soberanía, da alimentos, da seguridad y eso al final es más vida, mejor vida. Y la FAO en eso ha sido decisiva y seguirá siendo.
El marco estratégico de la FAO busca respaldar la Agenda 2030 mediante la transformación hacia sistemas agroalimentarios más eficientes, inclusivos, resilientes y sostenibles. Experiencias como la de esta finca trabajan por la necesidad de satisfacer la creciente demanda de alimentos, reducir la presión sobre los recursos naturales, proteger la biodiversidad e incrementar la resiliencia mientras se asegura empleo decente y acceso a dietas saludables sin dejar a nadie atrás.
Desde el año 2018, el gobierno de Brasil impulsa la Red de Alimentación Escolar Sostenible, la RAES, en América Latina y el Caribe. La RAES es resultado de los esfuerzos del Programa de Cooperación Internacional Brasil-FAO para el tema de alimentación escolar y es ejecutada de manera conjunta por la Agencia Brasileña de Cooperación, el Fondo Nacional de Desarrollo de la Educación y la FAO. Para crear soluciones a los desafíos de la alimentación escolar en la región, la RAES emplea esfuerzos para promover el diálogo, desarrollar capacidades e intercambiar experiencias e información entre gestores y otros profesionales que actúan en los programas de alimentación escolar. Una de las innovaciones de la RAES es la plataforma virtual disponible en 4 idiomas. La plataforma es un espacio para compartir todas las informaciones relevantes en tema de alimentación escolar en la región. Son publicaciones, legislaciones, videos, cursos de capacitación, entrevistas, noticias, artículos y una serie de iniciativas exitosas de los países, entre otros. Todo esto desarrollado para promover más diálogo e intercambio entre los más de 20 países que forman parte de la RAES. Otra innovación impulsada por la RAES para fortalecer la alimentación escolar son las jornadas de capacitación de docentes. Estas jornadas están en marcha en más de 10 países para que los docentes puedan implementar acciones de educación alimentaria y nutricional junto a la población estudiantil. Una de las bases de este trabajo es la metodología de escuelas sostenibles desarrolladas por la Cooperación Brasil FAO y gobiernos socios desde hace más de 10 años. Para ampliar la difusión de esta metodología que ya está presente en 23.000 escuelas de América Latina y el Caribe, la RAES lanzó en 2023 una serie de podcasts. La serie es una nueva estrategia de información y capacitación que ofrece la oportunidad de profundizar aún más las habilidades profesionales por medio de contenidos en formatos digitales, como es el caso de los podcasts. Agradecemos a la alianza entre ABC, FND, FAO y gobiernos de los países socios por el apoyo a estas iniciativas que contribuyen para mejorar las vidas de los niños y niñas de América Latina y el Caribe. El cambio climático tiene efectos tangibles sobre la seguridad alimentaria, nutrición, pobreza y sistemas agroalimentarios de América Latina y el Caribe. Estos impactos repercuten en la producción y medios de vida rurales y en la producción agrícola, dado una menor superficie cultivable, la sequía y escasez de agua, la pérdida de tierras costeras, entre otros. Hoy en día, se juega la capacidad de asegurar alimentos, erradicar la pobreza y lograr un desarrollo sostenible y resiliente en América Latina y el Caribe en un contexto de aumento de la población y de crisis climática. Es por ello que tanto la reducción de emisiones de gases de efecto invernadero como la adaptación a los impactos futuros en distintos niveles es clave. En este contexto, los planes de adaptación al cambio climático representan instrumentos fundamentales en favor de la acción climática. Chile ha avanzado integrando armoniosamente sus planes con las políticas públicas relevantes en materia climática, tales como la Estrategia Climática de Largo Plazo 2050, la contribución determinada a nivel nacional y la Ley Marco de Cambio Climático. Este proceso comenzó hace más de 10 años con la primera generación de planes de adaptación, incluyendo un plan nacional y 6 planes sectoriales. Con el apoyo de la Organización de las Naciones Unidas para la Alimentación y la Agricultura, FAO, y el financiamiento del Fondo Verde del Clima, Chile está actualizando algunos de estos planes y desarrollando nuevos, como el Plan Sectorial de Recursos Hídricos. Para junio de 2024, se espera que Chile haya desarrollado un nuevo Plan Nacional de Adaptación al Cambio Climático, junto a 12 nuevos planes sectoriales. Esta labor ha generado una serie de lecciones aprendidas, desde la fase de integración de los planes de adaptación con las políticas públicas, el diseño de estos instrumentos y la búsqueda de financiamiento para su futura fase de implementación. Un aspecto fundamental que ha caracterizado este proceso ha sido la participación activa de múltiples actores y partes interesadas en las discusiones y talleres, integrando a cientos de actores clave y de gran influencia en las 16 regiones del país, entre los que destacan grupos de mujeres y pueblos indígenas. Las lecciones aprendidas de estas experiencias han sido compartidas con otros países de la región y se espera que sirvan de guía para que estos puedan avanzar de forma similar al caso de Chile. Los resultados obtenidos a la fecha representan un logro clave para Chile en avanzar en adaptación al cambio climático a nivel nacional. Esto solo ha sido posible gracias a la coordinación y generación de sinergias entre diferentes instituciones e instrumentos de política pública del país. Más de 1.700 familias pescadoras de la región autónoma Costa Caribe Norte de Nicaragua han mejorado sus condiciones con el proyecto Apoyo a la Recuperación de Medios de Vida y Generación de Ingresos de Pescadores Artesanales afectados por los huracanes ETA e IOTA en noviembre de 2020. Los huracanes afectaron a casi 5.000 pescadores de la zona. La FAO en Nicaragua pudo llegar a 17 comunidades indígenas de la región, ayudarlas a superar la ola de la emergencia y enfocar sus esfuerzos en la recuperación de la cadena de valor de la pesca artesanal en las zonas afectadas. El proyecto entregó 67.400 materiales, equipos e insumos para la pesca, acopios, salas de proceso y comercialización, apoyando así la recuperación de los medios de vida junto con capacitación y asistencia técnica. Con esta iniciativa, se reactivaron 97 acopios y 10 salas de procesos. Además, 550 mujeres comercializadoras fueron apoyadas con bienes y capacitaciones.
Las mujeres sí podemos salir a abarcarnos, a trabajar, a salir adelante en cualquier área de trabajo, porque sí podemos.
Yang kay kan kiralilya kay kisnan yang kasakyam ni kay kisna mayrin na ni sinsel baha miski ba na ilah lakalupya sa kipawi sa wa imayana era bara yang kasaklilya kay kisna.
Mayrin na ni sutni na yang upa lilias na an yang tingki wis na sakuna mala daw kay ka kumsin ay ki bangwan sa kabu sal karay baikan batayli ara sal ka baplapis abam na warta ki bitaw kaya.
Mi nombre es Araceli Jiménez Mora, soy la presidenta de Copemolusco Chomes. Vivimos en Chomes Punta Arenas, en la costa pacífica de Costa Rica, y les vamos a mostrar cómo es nuestra labor diaria en la extracción de moluscos. Recolectamos mejillones, pianguas, almejas y choras. Estos productos se comercializan en la comunidad y esto nos ha ayudado, ¿verdad?, a llevarle sustento a nuestras familias.
Entre el año 2017 y el 2018, mediante un proceso de capacitación y acompañamiento técnico, con apoyo de la FAO, junto al Gobierno de Costa Rica y Coope Solidar, las mujeres lograron asociarse y conformar la cooperativa compuesta por 40 mujeres y 12 hombres.
Creo que uno de los retos más grandes que tenemos es poder comercializar el producto de una forma justa.
Para complementar sus ventas y la captura diaria, las mujeres venden empanadas, ceviche, pescado y platos precocinados con productos locales. Reciben los pedidos a través de aplicaciones de mensajería o las redes sociales.
Porque con esto no solamente nos alimentamos, no solamente tenemos un salario para comer y pagar nuestros gastos, también hemos podido ayudarle a nuestros hijos que se superen.
En la actualidad, la cooperativa no solo depende de la riqueza del manglar, sino que también se dedica a la preservación y restauración de estos ecosistemas, avanzando hacia un enfoque de manejo sostenible y resiliente, tal como lo promueve la FAO.
Nosotros comenzamos primeramente limpiando los manglares, construimos el vivero, después fuimos a buscar las plántulas y se deja alrededor de 1 mes y medio, 2 meses. Y después se va a reforestar a una zona donde no haya tanto mangle y que sea una zona apta, ¿verdad? El taller de trabajo y empleo decente cambió la perspectiva de las mujeres. Hemos comprendido que nosotras tenemos derecho a tener un trabajo decente, derecho a tener un trabajo digno, derecho a tener un seguro social, derecho a ser reconocidas, que nuestra actividad sea reconocida, y más aún que en las mujeres creímos que nuestro trabajo era tan digno como cualquier otro tipo de trabajo.
Throughout the Caribbean, there is a rich history of agriculture and an ever-growing food import bill, plus high susceptibility to the impacts of climate change. By using a market-oriented approach for the sustainable development of food value chains, FAO is supporting Caribbean countries to reduce their food imports, increase exports, and attract private sector investment in high-potential value chains. In Belize, the Commonwealth of Dominica, the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Saint Lucia, and several other Caribbean countries, the FAO Sub-Regional Office for the Caribbean is working with government agencies, the private sector, and development partners to transform food and agriculture industries using this market-oriented approach to value chain development. The highly participatory and inclusive approach relies on the effective engagement and coordination between private and public sector value chain stakeholders to promote ownership of the development of high-potential value chains. It combines market research, a rapid production assessment, an examination of the roles of women and youth, and the risks of climate to identify the range of critical constraints and the opportunities to overcome them to build resilient industries. So far, using the approach has led to the design and implementation of industry upgrading strategies, selection of best fit solutions to improve production, which increases opportunities for formalizing agreements between buyers and farmers, as well as increased technical knowledge and capacity among public and private sector stakeholders. This multi-pronged approach also involves the development of business models to demonstrate the income-earning potential for farmers and is vital in securing investor buy-in. Investment and development finance in various industries will strengthen them and provide the requisite funding to ensure industry sustainability. Working on high-potential value chains offers direct economic benefits to those involved in these industries and to consumers who crave quality products originating from the Caribbean. FAO continues to support governments in transforming and building more resilient and competitive agriculture and food systems as we look to a future of lower food import bills, secure livelihoods, and thriving economies. El proyecto Ganadería y Clima se planteó contribuir a enfrentar los desafíos del sector ganadero a través de un enfoque integral que abarca la mejora de la productividad y la sostenibilidad de los establecimientos ganaderos. El objetivo del proyecto es promover el aumento sostenible de la productividad y el ingreso en la producción ganadera y a la vez contribuir a mitigar el cambio climático, restaurando tierras degradadas en pastizales naturales y mejorando la resiliencia de los sistemas a través de un proceso de coinnovación con enfoque de género. En 3 años de trabajo de campo, el proyecto logró el aumento del 28% del ingreso neto familiar, con un 2% de disminución de los costos, el aumento del 8% de la producción de carne vacuna y 17% de la producción de carne ovina. Aumentó 6% el porcentaje de destete y de preñez y aumentó 6% el peso al destete. Mejoró un 64% el índice de buenas prácticas ganaderas. Se redujeron un 7% las emisiones totales de gases de efecto invernadero y un 18% las emisiones GEI por kilo de carne producida. Aumentó un 35% la altura de pasto y 7,4% la biodiversidad vegetal en comparación con los vecinos. Estos resultados son los insumos para el desarrollo de una estrategia nacional de ganadería climáticamente inteligente y un plan de mitigación para la ganadería que está diseñando el gobierno del país. El programa realizado en colaboración con el gobierno canadiense mitigó el impacto socioeconómico del COVID-19 en productores y productoras en situación de vulnerabilidad. Más de 19,000 familias, en su mayoría pertenecientes a pueblos indígenas y afrodescendientes, mejoraron sus medios de vida y su seguridad alimentaria y fortalecieron su resiliencia frente a impactos futuros. Adicionalmente, el programa benefició de manera indirecta a más de 49,000 hombres y mujeres rurales. El proyecto buscó de manera especial entender y responder a las necesidades de las mujeres para disminuir brechas de equidad. Las personas que participaron en el proyecto recibieron asistencia técnica, capacitación, insumos y apoyo para el desarrollo de cadenas productivas locales y acceder a mercados en un enfoque integrado y con resultados visibles en el corto plazo. En Perú, el proyecto fortaleció la resiliencia y seguridad alimentaria de los pueblos indígenas en Atalaya y Satipo. Se brindó asistencia técnica en 43 comunidades nativas para apoyarlas a implementar buenas prácticas de producción agrícola y pesquera. Esto se logró mediante 21 escuelas de campo, conservando sus tradiciones y cosmovisión ancestral de los pueblos indígenas. Además, se capacitó y entregó equipos de drones para que pudieran llevar a cabo monitoreo forestal comunitario y establecer alertas tempranas ante incendios. En Nicaragua, el proyecto se implementó en el corredor seco del país, apoyando a familias vulnerables a reducir los impactos socioeconómicos del COVID-19 y de la sequía, promoviendo prácticas sostenibles y resilientes para enfrentar mejor futuras amenazas. Se crearon y fortalecieron emprendimientos. Las familias productoras recibieron bonos para la reactivación productiva. También se crearon 60 bancos comunitarios de semillas. En Bolivia, el proyecto se llevó a cabo en 34 municipios de La Paz, Chuquisaca y Santa Cruz, áreas con altos niveles de vulnerabilidad, desnutrición y riesgo frente a choques climáticos. Se desarrollaron 34 centros demostrativos de capacitación, empoderando a productoras y productores y facilitando la transferencia de saberes técnicos y tradicionales a mujeres y jóvenes para una producción sostenible y resiliente. Se respaldaron emprendimientos individuales, mejorando su comercialización mediante ferias locales. Además, 23 gobiernos autónomos municipales impulsaron sistemas de información para la preparación ante desastres, formando a un total de 103 comunicadores populares. En Honduras, el proyecto se ejecutó en 3 mancomunidades, Manorcho, Mamcepás y Amfi, caracterizadas por el alto nivel de vulnerabilidad social y económica. Se incrementaron las capacidades productivas, brindando insumos y asistencia técnica para la recuperación de los medios de vida de las familias productoras, tomando en cuenta la participación activa de mujeres, pueblos y nacionalidades, y sobre todo adolescentes y jóvenes. Además, se logró potenciar 2 centros financieros de desarrollo, facilitando el acceso a crédito de 265 emprendedores. Al igual que en los otros países, las mujeres fueron empoderadas para participar activamente en todas las actividades. El proyecto se basó en un modelo de cogestión, articulado con organizaciones de base e instituciones locales. Esto permitió responder de manera eficiente a la compleja coyuntura socioeconómica de hombres y mujeres productores como resultado de la pandemia. El proyecto promovió un enfoque de recuperación con transformación, priorizando la inclusión y el empoderamiento de mujeres, jóvenes y pueblos indígenas. Rescató la importancia de promover el uso de tecnologías y saberes ancestrales, reconociéndolas como herramientas de desarrollo, resiliencia y sostenibilidad. Identificó oportunidades para empoderar a mujeres y jóvenes, generando oportunidades de ingresos, reduciendo brechas y visibilizando su potencial como agentes de cambio. La iniciativa además respondió a una emergencia y logró fortalecer la resiliencia de los sistemas agroalimentarios en un contexto de crisis compleja. Además de los impactos continuados del COVID-19, la incidencia de otros factores económicos como la inflación, choques climáticos, conflictos sociales y la inestabilidad política conllevaron a la adaptación operativa de las actividades para poder garantizar el cumplimiento de las metas programadas. La red de gerentas y gerentes de FAO en América Latina y el Caribe surgió en julio de 2022 como un espacio para fortalecer las relaciones, el diálogo y el aprendizaje entre quienes dirigen proyectos en todas las áreas de acción de la FAO.
Con más de 200 integrantes, la red congrega a responsables para la ejecución de $700 millones en proyectos FAO en toda la región.
Las y los gerentes son los que tienen contacto directo en los territorios y comunidades, son los que abren camino y producen cambios.
Son quienes día a día enfrentan los desafíos, las exigencias de los gobiernos, de nuestros socios y también las necesidades de nuestros beneficiarios.
En su primer año de vida, la red ha organizado 17 encuentros para compartir conocimientos, oportunidades y buenas prácticas.
Para los proyectos de cooperación Sur-Sur, esta red es un excelente espacio para el intercambio de informaciones técnicas y de gestión.
En los encuentros no solo se abordan temas técnicos, sino también habilidades blandas como el manejo de equipos, la solución de conflictos y la comunicación asertiva. La red ha servido también para reconocer el trabajo de nuestras gerentas y gerentes de proyectos, que son esenciales para que los objetivos de la FAO se conviertan en acciones concretas y transformadoras. La red de gerentas y gerentes de nuestra región es una experiencia sin precedentes en la FAO, una herramienta de construcción de soluciones innovadoras en conexión directa con los territorios y con nuestros beneficiarios, para no dejar a nadie atrás. Welcome to the 38th FAO Regional Conference for Latin America and the Caribbean, an instance where the 33 countries of the region unite to achieve more efficient, inclusive, resilient, and sustainable agri-food systems. Today, we are thrilled to discuss FAO's regional priorities that align with our strategic framework of the 4 betters. We need better production for the people, for the planet. Latin America and the Caribbean contribute 13% of the world's agricultural and fishery products. However, 33% of arable land is moderately and highly degraded, and the loss of more than 40% of production is related to pests and diseases. Innovation for agriculture production systems so that they are more productive, sustainable, resilient, and competitive, as well as enhanced and more equitable access of small-scale producers and family farmers to economic and natural resources, markets, services, information, education, and technologies will be critical to transform agri-food systems in the region. Let us work together towards sustainable production for a brighter future. We need better nutrition for the people, for the planet. The region faces significant challenges in eradicating hunger and malnutrition. People suffering from hunger slightly decreased in 2021, but 43 million people still suffer from food insecurity in the region. The region registers the highest cost of a healthy diet compared to world averages, estimated at $4.08 per person per day, which means that 22.7% of the population, 1 in 5 people, are unable to afford a healthy diet. The transition towards healthy diets and better food security and nutrition for the most vulnerable is a priority in the region. Let's work to achieve a better environment for the people, for the planet. 95% of our food is produced on land, and it all starts with soil and water. However, the region is particularly vulnerable to climate change and affected by environmental degradation. Between 2008 and 2018, agriculture production losses related to climate disasters in Latin America and the Caribbean were estimated at $29 billion. In 2022, climate-related disasters affected 17 countries, and it is estimated that by 2030, climate change could push between 2.4 and 5.8 million people into extreme poverty. Projections show that water scarcity will be exacerbated. Improving climate and environmental conditions is possible by conserving, protecting, and restoring biodiversity and ecosystem services for food and agriculture, and integrating climate change adaptation and mitigation into agri-food systems. Our region, with its breathtaking biodiversity hotspots like the Amazon, the Andes, and the Mesoamerican corridor, plays a crucial role in this endeavor. Better life for the people, for the planet. Latin America and the Caribbean is the most unequal region, with persistent levels of rural poverty that disproportionately affect women and indigenous peoples. Exposure to multiple and rapidly increasing risks is making agri-food systems vulnerable to different crises and shocks, affecting rural livelihoods, especially in countries with high rural poverty and extreme poverty levels. In Latin America and the Caribbean, 25% of the population identifies as indigenous or Afro-descendant, while women constitute 36% of agri-food system workers. Inclusive rural transformation and enhanced resilience in agri-food systems are a priority. Together, we can achieve these priorities: better production, better nutrition, better environment, and a better life for all. Let us unite for a sustainable, inclusive, and brighter future in Latin America and the Caribbean. Según el informe Panorama Regional de la Seguridad Alimentaria y la Nutrición 2023, 43,2 millones de personas actualmente sufren hambre en América Latina y el Caribe. A pesar de que se registra una leve mejora en el último periodo, los niveles de hambre continúan por encima de las cifras de 2019, previo al COVID-19. Esto producto de las consecuencias de la pandemia, la crisis climática y los conflictos armados, así como la desaceleración económica, el aumento de la inflación alimentaria y la desigualdad de ingresos. La situación varía en las subregiones. A diferencia de Sudamérica y Mesoamérica, en el Caribe se observa un aumento en la prevalencia de hambre e inseguridad alimentaria en comparación con 2021. 247,8 millones de personas en la región experimentaron inseguridad alimentaria moderada o grave en 2022, es decir, 4 de cada 10 personas de la población, afectando principalmente a las mujeres y personas en situación de pobreza o con alguna condición de vulnerabilidad. No solo eso, la región enfrenta una contradicción importante. Los niveles de sobrepeso y obesidad superan las estimaciones globales. El 8,6% de los niños y niñas menores de 5 años tiene sobrepeso y 1 de cada 4 adultos padece obesidad. Además, el costo de una dieta saludable en la región es de $4,08 al día por persona, limitando el acceso a ella al 22,7% de la población. La seguridad alimentaria y la nutrición es parte fundamental de la salud de las personas y para el desarrollo de los países. La situación es crítica, pero juntos podemos marcar la diferencia. Es hora de actuar.
Déjate seducir por el verde esmeralda de sus pasturas y las aguas multicolor. Descubre cerros y llanuras con la huella del caballo fiel de las faenas vespertinas. Disfruta sonidos y sabores de ambrosía, mitos y leyendas que se entretejen en paisajes inigualables. Esta es la ruta del embrujo llanero. Bienvenidos al Meta.
donde encontrarás música, folclore, flora, fauna, una gran biodiversidad, pero también su gente amable, su gente amorosa, con todos los productos de nuestra tierra llanera.
El Meta me fascinó, me quedé aquí echando raíces. Es un mar verde, eso es lo que más me gustó, y la abundancia de agua, el suelo, el bosque. También que aquí en esta tierra se puede sembrar, producir durante todo el año.
Conéctate con la naturaleza, sus maravillosos paisajes. Vive y siente la cultura llanera y disfruta al máximo de productos únicos que brotan de esta tierra. El Meta, despensa agrícola colombiana, labrada por familias devotas a su tierra que se unen para impulsar el campo.
Junto con la red de abastecimiento del Meta, donde somos alrededor de 25 asociaciones, 550 familias productoras de la región, tenemos canales de venta como lo son los mercados campesinos, como tenemos la red de abastecimiento, que es nuestra plataforma digital para venta de productos a nivel nacional.
Ya tenemos nuestro logo, nuestras redes sociales, que es Facebook, Instagram, nuestra página web, nuestro empaque y etiquetado para nuestros productos. Y todo esto es muy importante porque estamos trabajando para tener una marca propia.
Lo que buscamos es hacer el acercamiento con el turista para que conozcan de cerca nuestros procesos, para que se enamoren también del campo, de lo que hacemos con tanto amor y con esfuerzo.
Las familias del Meta te esperan para compartir lo mejor de su tierra. Te invitamos a vivir experiencias únicas en la ruta del embrujo llanero, tierras fértiles, riqueza cultural, deporte extremo, gran biodiversidad y agroturismo. Te esperamos.
Latin America and the Caribbean recorded progress in reducing hunger and food insecurity compared to other regions of the world, according to the latest estimates presented by the Food and Agriculture Organization. However, the scenario continues to be worrisome, with 43.2 million people suffering from hunger. The reasons are multiple: poverty, climate change, the socio-economic consequences of the pandemic, and conflicts, among other factors, continue to affect the most vulnerable. It is time to move from commitment
Conferencia regional.
To ensure a good virtual participation for those of us who are present virtually, and we do have a quorum. When you're speaking, please turn on your video, move close to the microphone and speak slowly. A dedicated microphone is recommended rather than the one built into your computer. We cannot guarantee interpretations if you don't use a dedicated headset. And please remember to mute your microphone when you're not speaking, and that includes those who are in the room, because there's a camera tracking system. And if your microphone is on, we'll all get to see you. So we'll just begin in just a minute or two. So good morning, and I would like to kindly request that the introductory video of the regional conference be broadcast.
Latin America and the Caribbean is a region rich of diversity and culture. From north to south, traversing lofty mountains, crystal clear waters, blooming valleys, and lush forests, the inhabitants of our region share a common goal: the pursuit of a better future for all. The Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations works tirelessly to achieve this objective. From now on, guided by FAO's strategic framework, we will support the 2030 Agenda by transforming to more efficient, inclusive, resilient, and sustainable agri-food systems for better production, better nutrition, a better environment, and a better life, leaving no one behind. FAO Regional Priorities. From traditional knowledge to modern techniques, FAO supports governments to enable farmers to produce more food efficiently and responsibly, to achieve better production and enhance agricultural productivity in a resilient and sustainable manner. FAO supports programs that foster healthy diets at all levels and address malnutrition in all its forms, ensuring better nutrition to eradicate hunger and achieve food security for all. Through the conservation, use, and restoration of biodiversity, FAO implements sustainable and resilient agricultural practices, considering adaptation and mitigation to climate change for a better environment. FAO advocates for a better life for all, promoting inclusive economic growth and reducing inequalities in rural and urban areas, warranting inclusion of most vulnerable groups, such as women, Afro-descendants, and indigenous populations, and encouraging youth in agri-food sector. Promoting a better future for the people and the planet can only happen by building partnerships that enable the exchange of innovation, technology, data, and good governance practices. The Regional Conference of the FAO for Latin America and the Caribbean is vital in advancing these objectives. Every 2 years, it provides a platform for countries to collaborate, share knowledge, and develop solutions to regional challenges. From sustainable agriculture to food security, the conference propels progress towards a brighter future for the region. In collaboration with governments and multiple actors, FAO continues its mission to build a world where everyone can thrive, leaving no one behind.
Good morning to all delegates and member states, official observers, and spokespersons of non-state actors. I think we are coming to the final journey, so to speak, in this FAO's conference. We have had 3 exciting days, excellent days, very good discussions. And I think today will live up to the expectation, or will be to our expectation. Before I go into today's business, I will ask the Secretary to make some brief announcements. Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. So I'd like to announce that this is your last chance to enjoy the immersive experience on the first floor that was brought to Guyana from Rome headquarters of FAO. And it shows how digital and other innovations can connect us all and reinforce our efforts to transform agri-food systems for present and future generations. It is indeed a beautiful experience and a great photo opportunity. So please do not miss it. So as not to interrupt the flow of the closing session, I wanted to make some end of day announcements now. As on previous days, the shuttles will be leaving 15 minutes after closing of the plenary to take you back to your hotels. In addition, transport to the airport has been organized by the government through your hotels in keeping with your registration details, those that were part of your original registration. So that is all. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. I kindly request to display the order of the day for day 4. I remind everyone that the agenda is published daily in the 3 official languages. So we have here the agenda. I invite delegates to express their views. Are there any objections to today's agenda? As there is no objection, the agenda is now approved. Continue the agenda, we'll now begin item 30, adoption of the report of the regional conference. Delegates, you would now have the text of the conference report that the rapporteur submitted to this plenary for approval, which has been available on the conference app and was sent to you by email yesterday. In accordance with conference procedure, I, as chair, with the collaboration of the rapporteur and the assistance of the secretary, now submit this document for your approval. Before starting this process, I offer the floor to the rapporteur, who will refer to some specific aspect of this report. But I see Costa Rica, Panama, they want to speak before, so I'll give the floor to Costa Rica first, followed by Panama.
Muchas gracias, presidente. Y bueno, estaba esperando el saludo también al relator para felicitarlos a él, a la presidencia, al director regional, Mario Lubetkin, secretariado por el excelente trabajo que han realizado en la conducción de esta conferencia. Y, por supuesto, agradecer a Guyana el haber hospedado también la conferencia. Muy brevemente, porque en aras del tiempo y no quiero... no se trata de levantar ninguna polémica, sino más bien es aclarar un punto en el párrafo 15, inciso H, porque me parece que es nada más aclararlo, no tiene mayor relevancia, pero sí dice, te puedo decir en dictado, a velocidad de dictado en inglés, dice support, y ahí había que incluirle the high level event on ocean action immersed in change. Y ahí sigue todo lo demás, the Third United Nations Ocean Conference, recognized y todo igual. Y luego en español, en la traducción al español, también quisiera que se hiciera una corrección, que no es de los océanos, sino de el océano. Nosotros consideramos que el océano es solo uno, no son varios, entonces nada más que la traducción en español sea el océano. Es simplemente una solicitud. Yo eso hice la mención en mi intervención en la reunión de oficiales superiores, y lo hizo también, está enterado el doctor Baranch como subdirector en esta área. Así que eso es simplemente una aclaración que, por favor, respetuosamente se permitan incluir en el texto. Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much for that comment. I was advised that that is a technical issue and it will be corrected. Panama, you have the floor.
Gracias, presidente. Gracias, presidente. Nosotros, Panamá.
Thank you, President. Panama would like to request an inclusion in the Appendix A. We would like to request through the rapporteur, the ambassador of Bahamas,
So I will ask the rapporteur to speak on this. Rapporteur.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Firstly, let me make a statement. I wish to express my gratitude to the member countries of LARC for their cooperation over the last week, 2 weeks. I was somewhat hesitant about playing this role when I was asked by Chair of GRULAC, Mexico, to do this, having observed what the ICC endures in Rome on a quarterly basis. But it has been a very pleasant experience and very supportive one. And so with that, I simply want to express my gratitude to members who participated and have given me their support so that we have made completion of our drafting efforts over the last week in record time. And my hope and last request is that this would continue. So indeed, we would be able to conclude these meetings and keep the same spirit of unity and collaboration that we have received and participated in over the last 2 weeks. Having said that, I have gotten a number of requests from members over the past, mainly this morning, having received the report that was sent out. And in an effort to ensure that we end the way we started, I would, Panama being one of those requests, would like the members, starting with Panama, to raise the item. I think that proposal has to do with dry corridor. And so if you can repeat for clarity what your request is, Panama.
Sí, gracias, relator.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Rapporteur. We would like to include in the appendix A, fourth paragraph. I don't know if you can put it up on the screen. Fourth paragraph that will facilitate the work of the Secretariat in English, but I'm going to read it in Spanish.
Resaltaron la importancia de mejorar los esfuerzos, fortalecer la asistencia financiera a través de la movilización de recursos, y tomar medidas tangibles para impulsar la resiliencia y sostenibilidad de los sistemas agroalimentarios en el corredor seco y las zonas áridas de la región del SICA para abordar los desafíos planteados por el cambio climático y la inseguridad alimentaria.
So just to be clear in English, and maybe we can ask the IT to project.
I will proceed in English.
Okay.
Okay.
Please.
Highlighted the importance of enhancing efforts, fostering financial assistance through resources mobilization, and taking tangible steps to boost the resilience and sustainability of agri-food systems in the dry corridor and arid zones of the SICA regions to address the challenges posed by climate change and food insecurity. And you have the text in the shadow of Zoom. Thank you.
Thank you, Panama. And so for members, this is an item. Just before I go to Brazil, just for clarity, this is an item to be added to Appendix A, which does not impact the report itself. So I'll go to Brazil. You have the floor.
Yes. Okay, that's what I was going to ask. If you can project it was a point of order, because as far as I understand what my good friend from Panama said, I think it would be better for all members. And he mentioned that to have the text presented to all members so that you can read it.
Okay, so I hereby request to IT to project the text as we understand it, having just been read.
Yes.
Please. I
Yes.
think there might be one word that needs to be changed too. And I would like to kindly request the report officer if to also be at the head table now, if possible. So it's projected down below. Oh, no, not this, not the report itself, IT. It's the part that we're calling Corredor Seco. It's a small text that was sent in WhatsApp to you. Please bear with us for one moment.
Secretaría, sería proyectar el apéndice A. Yo creo que la instrucción debería ser apéndice A ya.
IT, can you confirm, please?
Yes, one
Thank
second.
you. Thank
please.
you.
Thank you very much.
So at the moment, just so we're clear, we do not have the capacity in the facilities to do online editing. So what we have here is the paragraph as you just stated in English. And as we understand it, the proposal is that this be added to the end of the declaration that was agreed yesterday, correct?
Así es, que el párrafo
The annex,
seguido.
the annex that
Sí.
was agreed yesterday.
El documento, el título del documento es apéndice A. Entonces, si lo pueden incluir en ese documento, se lo agradezco. Gracias.
Okay, thank you, Panama. So just requesting if there's any objection to the proposal by Panama to have that text added to Appendix A. There being none, that is approved. Is there any further requests for members to add any statements or any remarks? No? Okay. So that's being said, Costa Rica is requesting the floor. Costa Rica, you have the floor.
Thank you, Ambassador. Just wanted to request if it's possible to see how the text we proposed is gonna reflect in the report, please, if it's possible. Thank you very much.
Okay, so the text was projected on the screen and would be added as the last item in Appendix A.
No, I'm sorry. That's a text Panama proposed, but Costa Rica proposed another one for the Ocean Conference.
First, I would kindly request IT to project what is on the screen in the conference center to the Zoom participants as well, as I understand they don't see it. So if you could project this first, we'll do step by step. So just to be sure that you all have a chance to see this, IT, if you could make the text a little bit bigger so it's easier for people in the room to see, and make sure it's projected by Zoom. And then we'll wait for a minute or two and see if anyone has hands raised. And Panama has their hand raised.
Gracias, Secretaría. Yo solicitaría solamente que eliminen la referencia que dice Panama Declaration, because el párrafo es parte del documento y Panama Declaration está de más. O sea, solo sería quedar el párrafo que inicia con highlighted the importance. Si pudieran borrar la referencia de Panama Declaration, se lo agradezco. Gracias.
Just to be clear, Panama, you're asking for the removal of the title?
Exacto. Si le llaman el título ese, lo que dice Panama Declaration, por favor, borrar. Ya. Eso sería todo. Gracias.
Okay, that would be, obviously it's done.
Exacto,
Thank you.
así queda. Gracias.
Okay, just a small point of order. We would like to wait just a few minutes because we're having technical difficulties in projecting it on Zoom, and to ensure a totally inclusive process with the rest of our quorum online. We would just kindly request that you look at the text and reflect, and just in a few minutes, we will advise if we can continue. Thank you.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
Brazil is requesting the floor. Go ahead.
Yes, for ophthalmological question. I'm already 56 and have short sightedness. I can't read it. This distance, if you can enlarge it, this or that one, so I can read it.
Okay, so there's been a request that this be read. Do you have a copy of it? Okay, so our reports officer acting at the moment will read the text. We'll read the text of the appendix, and it's from the beginning. Right.
So I will read what is there highlighted: the importance of enhancing efforts, bolstering financial assistance through resource mobilization, and taking tangible steps to boost the resilience and sustainability of agri-food systems in the dry corridor and arid zones of the Sika region to address the challenges posed by climate change and food security. Is it?
IT, if you could make the text a little bit larger as requested by Brazil, please, so that it's easily legible. Okay, IT, can you confirm to me that Zoom now has it also on the screen?
It's in Zoom too.
Yes, very good. So that is, as I understand it, then, are there any other objections?
Okay, so again, I'd previously asked if there was any objections, and there were none except the request from Brazil for the text to be broadened. And so I take it that we can move on to the other item from Costa Rica.
So please, one moment again, as we, is El Salvador?
No, El Salvador wants just to also support what Panama has been, highlighted there. That's what we wanted to say.
Very good. Just a technical moment as we try to share the paragraph with the adjustment as proposed by Costa Rica to the IT people. So one moment, please. Costa Rica, could you kindly repeat the Spanish correction that you are seeking, please?
Yes, thank you very much, Secretary. I sent it in the chat, the change in Spanish, the addition, in English, it's in the chat, and also the correction in Spanish. If you want me, I can read it.
Yes, please. We are not on your chat. Yes, please.
Okay. It says in paragraph 15 of the report, it says in H, okay, okay, it's there. Support the high-level event on ocean action immersed in change and the United States. Okay, that's it, perfect. And only the observation that in Spanish, it's Conferencia del Océano, in singular, not in plural, in Spanish.
Okay, that is noted as a technical precision. And
okay,
it is...
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, having made adjustment with those two edits, my final request, if there's any members that wishes to make any other comments, I give the floor to Colombia.
Muchas gracias, señor relator. Colombia quisiera agradecer el trabajo de estos días y quisiéramos proponer un párrafo adicional en el anexo A que estaremos enviando por el chat y que iría en la misma línea del propuesto por Panamá, pero para incluir a los demás países de la región y no únicamente a los países del SICA y del corredor seco. Entonces, Estaré enviando la propuesta de párrafo en español por el chat para que sea considerado en su inclusión en el anexo A. Muchas gracias.
Lamento mucho que no entendimos bien la proyección. Usted no tiene un headset dedicado, un micrófono dedicado, entonces no es posible ni entender en español ni los intérpretes. ¿Sería posible tener un micrófono dedicado y así repetir lo que acaba de decir, por favor?
Hola a todos, ¿me escuchan bien?
Mucho mejor, muchas gracias.
Sí, que Colombia quisiera proponer un párrafo adicional para la declaración del anexo A que estaremos enviando en español por el chat de Zoom para que se considere su inclusión.
So yes, please send it and we will share it on screen as soon as possible.
Ya he enviado la declaración, la propuesta de párrafo por el chat de Zoom, entonces se podría proyectar, copiar y proyectar para todos los demás. Gracias.
This will take just a few minutes. So in the meantime, if there are any other delegations that have anything else to say, this is your chance so that we can advance as soon as possible. This is a technical moment, again, to get the text on screen. So please bear with us. Are there any other delegations that wish to say anything at all? We are having internet problems, connection problems, and I believe the Zoom has also been cut. So please, we need some help from some technical help.
No.
Or at least I know in my computer here that was connected, it's definitely cut. But let's see if it's just. Okay, so we will begin by reading what Colombia sent as an addition to the appendix.
Thank you. So, en español. Colombia recalcó la necesidad de fomentar iniciativas, apoyo financiero y técnico y medidas concretas para aumentar la resiliencia y la sostenibilidad de los sistemas agroalimentarios de los estados de toda América del Sur, especialmente en los ecosistemas más vulnerables frente a los efectos del cambio climático, la pérdida de biodiversidad y la seguridad alimentaria. Entiendo que es un párrafo similar al de Corredor Seco para América del Sur. Gracias.
Okay, so I'd kindly request if there's any objection to Colombia's proposal to add to Appendix A. And if there is none, then we would approve and have that added to the appendix. I believe that has brought us to the end of requests from the floor. And so I wish to make a final statement before we move for the adoption of the report. As we stand on the cusp of adopting the report of our FAO Regional Conference, I'm honored to provide a brief overview of the diligent and inclusive process that has brought us to this pivotal moment. Over the course of our proceedings, we were guided by the collective expertise and dedication of 30 distinguished representatives from 12 members that constituted the drafting committee. Their contributions have been instrumental in framing the discussions that form the core of the regional conference report. This report encapsulates our collective deliberations on regional and global policy and regulatory matters, alongside program and budget matters, as discussed in the senior officers meeting sessions over the 11th through the 13th of March 2024. The report reflects the various perspectives shared and the constructive dialogue agreed in. It also reflects the approval of the 4 regional priorities guided by the aspiration of the 4 betters included in the FAO's strategic framework to transform the agri-food systems to become more efficient, inclusive, and sustainable, leaving no one behind. In addition, the report highlights critical topics and agreements related to the access to financing, the reduction of food loss and waste, the increase of resilience capacity, as well as the need of a modern and efficient FAO country office network. The discussions were anchored in comprehensive background documents, laying out suggested actions for our consideration and alignment with the broader objectives of the FAO conference and the FAO Council. In order to strengthen the editorial coherence of this document, a paragraph sequence revision is proposed. It all aims at forging a consensus on the path forward for our region. Our journey towards consensus was marked by an open and inclusive process, which reflects the diversity of views and the specificities of members, proposals, insertions, and amendments from all member states. This collaborative approach ensured that the final report is a statement to our collective approach and shared commitment toward the transformation of the agri-food systems in our region of Latin America and the Caribbean, again, leaving no one behind. It is with profound gratitude that I once again extend my thanks to all members of the drafting committee and the Secretariat of LARC for their unwavering support and guidance. Their expertise has been invaluable in steering our discussions toward a fruitful outcome. In light of the inclusive, thorough, and consensus-based process that has characterized our deliberations, I respectfully suggest to our esteemed chairperson, and through him to the plenary, that the report be adopted en bloc by acclamation. I believe there was an item that we had sent out by way of a report that members would have gotten last evening, and that was simply a proposal that I made through the Secretariat to simply move under decentralization to move to have a para. The para was supposed to be added to remove from any other business. So there was no changing to the text at all, and that was clearly stated in the note. And so I'm kindly requesting to have approval of that before we adopt the report, to have that, to accept the fact that we wanted to move that into to 22B. And so I put it to the floor. If there's any objection to having that para simply removed from any other business into the topic decentralization 22B. Thank you so much. Again, I can't say thanks enough. And so I move that the report be adopted en bloc. There is no objection. Then I think we have adopted the report. I'm told that Haiti was requesting the floor, and I now see Brazil. Can we?
But you have to take over. Haiti, who? Haiti have the floor. Yes.
Merci beaucoup. Et étant donné que le rapporteur aurait suggéré d'adopter le rapport par acclamation, alors que dans le texte, quelque part, il est mentionné que les ministres et les chefs de délégation ont signé. Donc, je pense qu'il serait bien d'apporter la correction également que le texte a été adopté par acclamation au lieu de ont signé.
It's not necessary that we usually do those things, sign, because we adopt the report, and everyone by acclamation we heard just now. So there is no objection to this report. Yeah, Brazil. After that, just before Brazil, I know what you come in, but we have another country, Panama. If we could get Panama before, and then I know you want what, so Panama, you have the floor.
Gracias, presidente. Panamá solo quería agradecer por el trabajo realizado por el embajador Pinnock como relator de nuestra conferencia. El trabajo ha sido muy organizado e impecable. Nos ha permitido concluir de una manera expedita y rápida nuestro proceso de discusión y de acordar nuestro reporte. Entonces, que Panamá quisiera agradecer por ese trabajo realizado al embajador Pinnock. Y igualmente nos unimos a las felicitaciones a Guyana por excelente coordinación de una conferencia regional. Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much. Brazil, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for giving me the floor and for your indulgence in giving me this little time. Mr. President, honorable ministers, Assistant Director General, distinguished delegates, dear friends. First of all, I'd like to thank following Panama Ambassador Pinnock for his brilliant work. It is with great honor and sense of responsibility that Brazil thank all countries for trusting us to host the 39th Regional Conference for Latin America and the Caribbean to be held in 2026. Brazil would like to express its deepest appreciation to the Cooperative Republic of Guyana for organizing this meeting in Georgetown, the city of many rivers. We are truly inspired by the efforts made by the government of Guyana, who has set the bar very high for us in this 5th regional conference held in the English-speaking Caribbean. We hope to count on Guyana's experience to help Brazil organize a memorable LARC 49. By hosting the next regional conference, we reaffirm our commitment to the fight against hunger and all forms of malnutrition, to more resilient and sustainable agri-food system, to a world more responsible towards its future. Mr. Assistant Director General, in this regard, let me express Brazil's sincere gratitude for FAO's efforts to make this conference come true and our unwavering support for FAO's work in our countries. Rest assured, and please transmit it onwards, that Brazil considers the strengthening of FAO's country offices as a priority for Latin America and the Caribbean. We do so because we know the quality of their work and their potential. Allow me to reiterate our recognition of the skillful work done by FAO teams on the ground. Be it the teams in the country offices in our region, like the ones led by Jorge Mesa in Brazil or Gillian Smith here in Guyana. Be it in the regional or sub-regional office, like the one led by yourself, Mr. Assistant Director General, all under the able leadership of the Director General. Without their work and that of their teams, we would be further behind in the path towards achieving food security and nutrition. Mr. President, this meeting is a priority space for Brazil, where we can learn about different experiences. It is where we can find ways to further collaborate towards a more resilient, just, and sustainable future. We expect it can also play our key role in supporting the Global Alliance Against Poverty and Hunger to be launched later this year. The results of this conference will have a lasting impact. We hope to keep up the great work done by Guyana when it comes the time to welcome you all in person in Brazil for LARC 49 in 2 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I think we have all confidence that Brazil will even get better standards, move our standard higher so that the next country will have to follow too. So at this point in time, because it seems that we are moving up very fast to conclude this conference, I will now open the floor to any delegation who may wish to make some closing remark, very short, before we hear the final statement, before when the Director General would have come here and close from the chair. So very short, I will give the floor to delegates who wants to make very short closing remarks. Katie, yes, you have the floor.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur le Président. Je voudrais profiter de cette occasion, au nom du gouvernement haïtien, d'exprimer tous nos remerciements à tous nos partenaires, particulièrement ceux de la FAO, de penser à Haïti en ce moment de grande crise. Donc, beaucoup de délégations ont exprimé leur soutien à Haïti et le gouvernement haïtien et le peuple haïtien continuent encore à compter sur ses partenaires afin de pouvoir trouver une issue à cette grande crise à laquelle les populations les plus vulnérables continuent de faire face. Tous mes remerciements.
Thank you very much. Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you very much, Chair, and blessed good morning to everyone. Chair, I want to take this opportunity on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago to congratulate you on your steadfast leadership and guidance for this session, and we want to pledge our continued support to you at a CARICOM level, if I dare say so, in terms of our vision of meeting this 25 by 2025. I want to also emphasize the point that most of the contributions made during this 38th session really focuses on FAO's responsibility in assisting us all, Latin America and the Caribbean, and I would like to put in a plug, small island developing states, as we are all very vulnerable and we have all seen the effects of climate change in our respective countries. Just to close by saying, we appreciate and we thank FAO for continuing to lead the charge in terms of food and nutrition security for all of our respective countries. But we also ask that, when considerations have been made, that, the most vulnerable are also taken with quite resourceful eye. Thank you for the hospitality, Honorable Minister Zulfikar. You have been an exceptional host, and we do look forward to, just remaining hours with you as we share in the greatness of Guyana. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Trinidad and Tobago. Is there any other delegation? Yes.
So, Chairman, I am just taking the chance, if I may say. So,
speak in the microphone.
Yeah, so I'm taking the chance as the country head for the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, the OECS, which Grenada now heads, ministers of agriculture, to say how thankful we are for the opportunity to be here, and that the discussions that we had were all very meaningful and rich, and we have that commitment towards working to improve food security in all of our islands, and that we are thankful for the FAO for all of the support that it has been providing to us and continue to provide to us. And again, we want to say thanks to you, Chair, the government and people of Guyana for your warm hospitality and for the effort that you have made in ensuring that we are safe and sound and that we enjoy our stay here in your country. As a grouping, we certainly look forward to participating in the meeting that will take place in Brazil. And of course, so thank you all very much. Thank you all very much indeed.
Thank you very much. Is there any other delegation want to speak? If not, we are waiting on the arrival of the Director General. I will invite ministers. We can go to the immersion room and take a ministerial picture there. By the time the Director General will get here. So we'll have a 5 minutes break. Hold the position and come back into the plenary hall. Thank you.
Welcome to the 38th FAO Regional Conference for Latin America and the Caribbean, an instance where the 33 countries of the region unite to achieve more efficient, inclusive, resilient, and sustainable agri-food systems. Today, we are thrilled to discuss FAO's regional priorities that aligned with our strategic framework of the 4 betters. We need better production for the people, for the planet. Latin America and the Caribbean contribute 13% of the world's agricultural and fishery products. However, 33% of arable land is moderately and highly degraded, and the loss of more than 40% of production is related to pests and diseases. innovation for agriculture production systems so that they are more productive, sustainable, resilient, and competitive, as well as enhanced and more equitable access of small-scale producers and family farmers to economic and natural resources, markets, services, information, education, and technologies will be critical to transform agri-food systems in the region. Let us work together towards sustainable production for a brighter future. We need better nutrition for the people, for the planet. The region faces significant challenges in eradicating hunger and malnutrition. People suffering from hunger slightly decreased in 2021, but 43 million people still suffer from food insecurity in the region. The region registers the highest cost of a healthy diet compared to world averages, estimated at $4.08 per person per day, which means that 22.7% of the population, 1 in 5 people, are unable to afford a healthy diet. The transition towards healthy diets and better food security and nutrition for the most vulnerable is a priority in the region. Let's work to achieve a better environment for the people, for the planet. 95% of our food is produced on land, and it all starts with soil and water. However, the region is particularly vulnerable to climate change and affected by environmental degradation. Between 2008 and 2018, agriculture production losses related to climate disasters in Latin America and the Caribbean were estimated at $29 billion. In 2022, climate-related disasters affected 17 countries, and it is estimated that by 2030, climate change could push between 2.4 and 5.8 million people into extreme poverty. Projections show that water scarcity will be exacerbated. Improving climate and environmental conditions is possible by conserving, protecting, and restoring biodiversity and ecosystem services for food and agriculture, and integrating climate change adaptation and mitigation into agri-food systems. Our region, with its breathtaking biodiversity hotspots like the Amazon, the Andes, and the Mesoamerican corridor, plays a crucial role in this endeavor. Better life for the people, for the planet. Latin America and the Caribbean is the most unequal region, with persistent levels of rural poverty that disproportionately affect women and indigenous peoples. Exposure to multiple and rapidly increasing risks is making agri-food systems vulnerable to different crises and shocks, affecting rural livelihoods, especially in countries with high rural poverty and extreme poverty levels. In Latin America and the Caribbean, 25% of the population identifies as indigenous or Afro-descendant, while women constitute 36% of agri-food system workers. Inclusive rural transformation and enhanced resilience in agri-food systems are a priority. Together, we can achieve these priorities: better production, better nutrition, better environment, and a better life for all. Let us unite for a sustainable, inclusive, and brighter future in Latin America and the Caribbean. Según el informe Panorama Regional de la Seguridad Alimentaria y la Nutrición 2023, 43,2 millones de personas actualmente sufren hambre en América Latina y el Caribe. A pesar de que se registra una leve mejora en el último periodo, los niveles de hambre continúan por encima de las cifras de 2019, previo al COVID-19. Esto producto de las consecuencias de la pandemia, la crisis climática y los conflictos armados, así como la desaceleración económica, el aumento de la inflación alimentaria y la desigualdad de ingresos. La situación varía en las subregiones. A diferencia de Sudamérica y Mesoamérica, en el Caribe se observa un aumento en la prevalencia de hambre e inseguridad alimentaria en comparación con 2021. 247,8 millones de personas en la región experimentaron inseguridad alimentaria moderada o grave en 2022, es decir, 4 de cada 10 personas de la población, afectando principalmente a las mujeres y personas en situación de pobreza o con alguna condición de vulnerabilidad. No solo eso, la región enfrenta una contradicción importante. Los niveles de sobrepeso y obesidad superan las estimaciones globales. El 8,6% de los niños y niñas menores de 5 años tiene sobrepeso y 1 de cada 4 adultos padece obesidad. Además, el costo de una dieta saludable en la región es de $4,08 al día por persona, limitando el acceso a ella al 22,7% de la población. La seguridad alimentaria y la nutrición es parte fundamental de la salud de las personas y para el desarrollo de los países. La situación es crítica, pero juntos podemos marcar la diferencia. Es hora de actuar.
Déjate seducir por el verde esmeralda de sus pasturas y las aguas multicolor. Descubre cerros y llanuras con la huella del caballo fiel de las faenas vespertinas. Disfruta sonidos y sabores de ambrosía, mitos y leyendas que se entretejen en paisajes inigualables. Esta es la ruta del embrujo llanero. Bienvenidos al Meta.
Donde encontrarás música, folclore, flora, fauna, una gran biodiversidad, pero también su gente amable, su gente amorosa, con todos los productos de nuestra tierra llanera.
El Meta me fascinó, me quedé aquí echando raíces. Es un mar verde, eso es lo que más me gustó, y la abundancia de agua, el suelo, el bosque. También que aquí en esta tierra se puede sembrar, producir durante todo el año.
Conéctate con la naturaleza, sus maravillosos paisajes. Vive y siente la cultura llanera y disfruta al máximo de productos únicos que brotan de esta tierra. El Meta, despensa agrícola colombiana, labrada por familias devotas a su tierra que se unen para impulsar el campo.
Junto con la red de abastecimiento del Meta, donde somos alrededor de 25 asociaciones, 550 familias productoras de la región, tenemos canales de venta como lo son los mercados campesinos, como tenemos la red de abastecimiento que es nuestra plataforma digital para venta de productos a nivel nacional.
Ya tenemos nuestro logo, nuestras redes sociales que es Facebook, Instagram, nuestra página web, nuestro empaque y etiquetado para nuestros productos. Y todo esto es muy importante porque estamos trabajando para tener una marca propia.
Lo que buscamos es hacer el acercamiento con el turista para que conozcan de cerca nuestros procesos, para que se enamoren también del campo, de lo que hacemos con tanto amor y con esfuerzo.
Las familias del Meta te esperan para compartir lo mejor de su tierra. Te invitamos a vivir experiencias únicas en la ruta del embrujo llanero, tierras fértiles, riqueza cultural, deporte extremo, gran biodiversidad y agroturismo. Te esperamos.
Latin America and the Caribbean recorded progress in reducing hunger and food insecurity compared to other regions of the world, according to the latest estimates presented by the Food and Agriculture Organization. However, the scenario continues to be worrisome, with 43.2 million people suffering from hunger. The reasons are multiple: poverty, climate change, the socio-economic consequences of the pandemic, and conflicts, among other factors, continue to affect the most vulnerable. It is time to move from commitment to action. In March 2024, the 38th FAO Regional Conference for Latin America and the Caribbean will be held in Georgetown, Guyana. For 3 days, heads of state and government, ministers, parliamentarians, representatives of civil society and the private sector from FAO's 33 member countries in Latin America and the Caribbean will meet to address regional priorities, translated into FAO's mandate as an objective, clear, and realistic response to combat hunger in the region. Multiple actors from across the region have forged synergies to contribute to national efforts towards more efficient, inclusive, resilient, and sustainable agri-food systems, and support the 2030 agenda promoting better production, better nutrition, a better environment, and a better life. We can create a new reality and build a Latin America and the Caribbean free of poverty, hunger, and inequality, leaving no one behind.
L'eau pour moi.
我是马颖，来自中国。
المياه بالنسبة لي.
El agua para mí.
Вода для меня это.
Water to me is life.
Humans, animals, plants all depend on water.
Water to me, well, it's everything.
It's our food, our energy, and even the clothes that we wear.
Water to me is a scarce resource. We need to use new technologies for rational use and water conservation.
We need to recycle used water to reduce water scarcity.
Water is fundamental to grow and produce our food.
We need to produce more with less water.
Water to me is fun. I like to play and swim in the water.
Water to me means sustainability. It keeps life on our planet in balance.
We need to keep the water clean to have a healthy life.
Water to me is a human right.
In my region, people struggle to get water.
We need to distribute water evenly and make it accessible to everyone.
We need to preserve water for the life of our planet. We have to start now.
We will always need water.
En su visita a Cuba en el marco de la cumbre del Grupo de los 77 y China, el director general de la FAO, Chu Dong-yu, recorrió la finca agroecológica Vistahermosa, que produce hortalizas, leche, productos lácteos y carne, según los principios de sostenibilidad social y ambiental, en línea con las 4 mejoras promovidas por la FAO. La finca se beneficia de varios proyectos implementados por la FAO en el país y forma parte de la iniciativa 1000 Aldeas Digitales, que promueve la organización.
Session of this conference. So once again, welcome to our final session. I hope that those who are out there can please come in. We will now begin the closing session of the regional conference. I think we have had some great times, and I want to thank each and every one of you for participating in the last 3.5 days. I think we have made a lot of progress. At this point in time, I want to take this opportunity, and it is a great pleasure to offer the floor to the FAO Director General, who will make his final statement to this conference. Mr. Director General, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson of this Regional Ministerial Conference. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so delighted to come back and join together with you celebrate this successful Regional Ministerial Conference. I know when we have so successful with your collaboration and your leadership, and also especially President of Guyana, Prime Minister, and also relevant ministers. And now I realize that our Minister of Guyana, Agriculture, he is powerful, not because of himself, because he got a strong support from the leaders and the relevant minister, Minister of Finance, Minister of Minerals, and of course, Minister of Foreign Affairs and others. That shows your leadership and the coordination role for ensure this ministerial conference successful. Also appreciate all the members, honorable ministers and vice ministers, and the high level of representatives. You make this regional ministerial conference success because it is ministerial level. Why the FAO design those kind of governing bodies every 2 years have a regional ministerial conference? Because so many years the people consider regional conference. So anyone can join on behalf of, but that is the ministerial conference. We respect your decision, either the minister or vice minister or high level representative come, but it's a decision maker. It's not a consultation. Yeah, be clear. And then every 2 years we have a minister conference in Rome, in headquarters, to make the important decision. After that, regional ministerial conference take the ownership and the partnership to regionalize and localize the preference and the priorities. That's the nature and the purpose and also power, authority for this regional ministerial conference. I want to repeat and say that because of so many years, people simply say, because I'm a scientist, I was a scientist. We should use the very scientific term because the regional conference, it's an oral language. It's not a writing language. So I asked my colleagues will be emphasize that because it's not like a governing bodies in 3 committee and then council meeting, but that is one of the ministerial conference like we had last year in headquarters. And next year we're again back to the headquarters. So I want to use this opportunity to remind and all the colleagues from each members, because I was a responsible minister also, and so the nature. Yeah. Otherwise, it will be, the FAO, the Constitution, ask us to do so. So I really appreciate all the participants representing your members, make the ownership and the leadership even, and to guide the FAO in this region this time. Yeah. Next year, back to the global again. And then also expect your contribution to get the global agenda moving. So my warmly congratulations all of you for your hard work, fruitful discussion, and the concrete contribution that makes this ministerial conference so successful. And also timely, yeah? Timely, ministry makes difference, yeah, especially for this region. Before I come, I had, to be honest, I had a little worry, yeah, because other regions are already so successful and clearly, crystal clearly understand the role of the regional ministerial conference. Your collective efforts have had a positive impact on the priority of the region, and I appreciate your dedication for our common goals for the Latin America and the Caribbean regions and beyond. I'm pleased that we have had the opportunity to convene for this in-person and hybrid meetings, building on our previous meeting in Quito, Ecuador in 2022. Our journey from the Quito to the Georgetown has been a fruitful process of deep discussion that enabled us to become the more efficient and agile in serving and supporting the members in the region. I'm happy to see that the remarkable unity among the 33 countries of Latin America and the Caribbean, as you have come together to establish a shared vision for the future to achieve the good food for all and for today and for tomorrow. By embracing the four betters, better production, better nutrition, better environment, and better life, leaving no one behind, as set out in the FAO Strategy Framework 2022 to 31, and forging new innovative pathway to transform our agro-food systems to be more efficient. This region, if we can improve efficiency of the land and natural resource use, you can double the food production easily. Yeah, and the benefit to the world and to your region and to the farmers and to consumers as well. And more inclusive, because at the same time, as I said, the opening, you are one of the major food exporter continent, but at the same time, you have a so high rate of the poverty and the food malnutrition problems. So it's problem we have to deal with together with you, more inclusive, more equitable development between city and the rural, between poor and the rich, between the big farmer, family farmers, and the smallholder farmers. Even my friend from Brazil, you know that. In Brazil, you have a lot of big farmers being the key exporter, but at the same time, you have more than 60% of the farmers are smallholder farmers. So that's something we have to work together to change. That's why we strongly support the G20 presidency, yeah, under the leadership of President Lula, and to deal with these challenges together. I think the more resilient, we need also investment. I want to take this opportunity to get because after 2 days, I visited some field here. At the opening, I said you have too much water, because that's what they call the Guyana. But how to use water, not only pumping the water from an experience that 100 or 200 years ago experience. We have to turn the flooding to the natural resource, which water is so important. You can use water for aquaculture. You can use the water for the wetland park and attract the entertainment, the sports. You can use the overflooding places to build up some kind of renewable hydropower. So that's my humble experience in my province and in Three Gorges Dam I used to work. It was also thousands years is flooding around the Yangtze River. But with the proper comprehensive design, how to use the flood. And now it's become the beneficial when you have too much water, too much flood, they will store for the electricity generation. And when you face the drought last winter, I think the year before, about 3 months around Yangtze River, and then they can release the water for the socio-economic development. So I think the flooding it's damage if we didn't design how to use it properly. But if we design holistic way, you can turn to the good resources for the development, not only for agriculture, for economic and social and the environment together. So I think the resilience, you need more investment, more holistic design, how to use your land and the forestry and others, even the flood, I said, and then more sustainable. Otherwise, you are talking about sustainable just as a good dream without the tools, how to aim that release the dream. And include also the implementation of the, I think, discussion on the thematic areas where the further strengthen our work, including implementation of the FAO hand-in-hand initiative, both at the country level and its regional initiatives. I think this region, I'm so delighted you have a country initiative on the hand-in-hand, and also you have a sub-region. That's the phenomena, and also it's good in my opinion. And then thanks to my chief economist, he is from this region, so he understands your region more precisely. But I encourage other regions also learning from your region, not only initiative, hand-in-hand initiative for the country, also for the sub-region. That's what we are studying in the Near East also. But this region take a leading role on that. So I hope you can still keep the leading that exercises, I should say. And to develop the country's capacity to attract increase targeted investment and mobilize the financial resources in support of the national need. In addition, building resilience has been recognized as critical for the Caribbean, particularly for the specific characteristic of the small island development states who are facing multiple shocks and risks due to the increased threat posed by the climate change and the crisis. I think also members have addressed the sustainable fishery and the aquaculture through the blue transformation approach. And here you have no problem with the colors, but some continents also, no, here also someone also don't like blue, but blue is blue. Yeah, we have no any political mean. Yeah, I'm not a blue party. We also, some people prefer green, some blue. But blue we just use as a word to describe the ocean, yeah, and aquaculture and fishery, how to deal with. I think this continent, you have a huge potential compared to the Asian Pacific region, yeah. The world, the aquaculture products, 87 from Asia, 3% from Africa. I don't know how many percentage are from here, maybe less than 1%. Yeah, and then the Europe about 3 or 4%. So if we compare 83%, 87% from Asia Pacific, you have at least 80 times more. And compare your population also so small, only equal a little less than Southeast Asia. So I think I always exciting when we talk about the potential in this continent. The God is really love you, give you so much water, so much green, so much blue, and everything, crystal clean. So, but how to use it with the 4 betters, with the 4 more efficient, more inclusive, more resilient, and more sustainable. That's a big and chopped. We wanted to work together. And that's why I appreciate the President Ali here. He willing to take the leading role how to support the small islands that are surrounding here and the curriculum. And just our neighbors, they have the secretary buildings here. So we want to stress the curriculum, collaboration with the curriculum, and how through the strengthening the Guyana, how to support the small islands that together with others Dominican Republic, Jamaica, and others which willing to join. Yeah. Challenges of the climate crisis are also identified as strong priority for this region due to the broad interconnection between the water, forestry, and biodiversity and soil, especially for agriculture. Many years ago, when I was a scientist, 25 years actually, 1998, I discussed with the Royal Society of British. We said the climate warming, global warming, that time we used the term. And then they said, who is the most care and suffering? Is the small islands that no matter you are rich or poor, not the seeds. I said small islands that include someone by GDP is higher, but the climate change, you are first group are suffering. And after 25 years, now the people talk about that. But still, FAO, we wanted to support you through our professional channels and work as a group, not as an individual. Be clear, I met so many ministers during past days and even before I came, like, when we met them in Rome. That's my passion, determination. That's why since day one, I established the Office of Seeds and LDCs, LLDCs. And now, of course, the seeds should be first, but also other small islands, you are now after pandemic, you realize how important agri-food system. So I think we can have a lot of chance to work together, strengthen this area, because you are matters. It's a matter to the SDGs and the global peace, prosperity, and the planet. About the 50 small island states, and plus others, totally about the LDCs, it's 90 countries and the members of FAO. So that's really our focusing and the priority areas and the members who want to challenge it is there, but I'm pleased also FAO have issued the global roadmap on achieving the SDG 2 without breaching the 1.5 degrees C threshold, could provide a guiding framework for countries to take a proper policy decision and innovative actions addressing the issues of hunger and climate in a holistic manner. That's what we launched together with my chief economist during COP28 in UAE. So I'm also pleased to note the good discussion during the regional foresight session. I think that's the first exercise happening in the regional minister conference so far, and on different scenarios that our agriculture could face and the importance of evidence-based and scientific approach to planning or design for the future. I think the scenario management is a new phenomenon we should follow. You can't control individual indicators or parameters are going to change, but we can create different scenarios, how based on our information, based on data, and then to see how to manage a different scenario properly. So that's a new exercise. I hope some members, ministers, leaders, scientists that are willing to join. We encourage you to follow that approach. I think it will be benefited. You can make similar within your countries to do the scenario management. That's FAO. We want leading the professional management, how to address the challenges and the transformation of agri-food system, coherent, holistic way. Because agriculture is an open society system. You can't control so many different uncertainty. So based on different scenario, maybe it's good for us to manage the risks and more benefit that we can create in the future. This has been a unique opportunity to discuss challenges, opportunity, and the different paths we can follow. Deep and fruitful discussion between members and FAO highlighted the critical areas of consideration, covering a range of the topics to advance the transformation of agri-food system based on country context and the needs, and the implementation of 2030 agenda. I'm pleased to note that the 4 priorities set for the next biennial are in line with the technical and the policy assistance we are set to provide. And FAO remains committed to supporting the region in achieving transformation of to achieving sustainable agrofood system. Your recognition of the importance of the modern, digital, efficient FAO country office network to support the countries in achieving the SDGs is very important for us. You know, since I come now, the only UN specialized agency, FAO, running fully by digital. And also now even the Ministerial Conference, we are allowed to open the hybrid model. That's also the new involving development for digital world. Digital world, you like it, you don't like it, but it's real world. Now, if you ask the younger people, younger than 30 or 40 years old, they have another word. It's a digital world. I don't know how many young people read the newspaper or watching TV. I don't think so. But the people, this region is a little bit behind compared to Asia Pacific for digitalization. Not only for agriculture, digitalization, economy also. So it's time for us to prepare for the agrofood system. We can follow the international trade, how to speed up the digitalization. I hope that each administration can really have strengthened the information ICT applications, because otherwise you will left behind for sure. Yeah, because I don't know, infrastructure is 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G. The Asia Pacific majority are 5G. That's of course you have to recommend it to your president or prime minister or minister of information or infrastructure. They can help us. Yeah, that's my knowledge in China now. 98% village are reached by 5G. So they can start. They have an e-commerce easily. So I think that's also it's a challenge for this region. I know, but you can Guyana. I think you have a capacity to speed up, catch up in that aspect. Yeah, it's easy. You have less than 1 million people, and each family average four people. So you only have about 200,000 households. You don't need that larger investment, but you need to have this design properly and to take the lead on the digitalization of our country and digitalization of rural area, of course. That's what I really hope my minister here, and you can convey this message to your honorable president. I think he have a good ideas and visions to how to modernize the Guyana. Latin America and the Caribbean is one of the few regions that we have demonstrated progress in the fight against hunger, reducing the figures of undernourishment. We should learn from your progress, success story, and best practice and replicate them in a similar context as much as possible. This does not mean that we should not act without a delay to still fight against the inequality, fostering more resilient community and preparing for the timely response to the impact of the climate crisis. In closing, I wish to convey my deepest appreciation to His Excellency Dr. Muhammad Irfan Ali, and the President of the Republic of Guyana, and also Honorable Prime Minister. And I really feel your hospitality, because I'm not either to be, emotional, but I do enjoy all the details you offer to make our colleagues and participants happy and enjoy time every moment they stay here. And of course, to chairperson of the Regional Minister Conference, Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Guyana, with whom we look forward to working closely over the next biennial before you hand off the chairmanship to the friend from Brazil. So of course, that was, I hope, 2026, so from now on, about 2 years. Many thanks to all of you for your dedication, cooperation, leadership. And I said already, I knew we are all committed to reach Brasilia in 2026 with more tangible results and real impact on the ground for people and planet. Lastly, and I come here as FAO Director General, I wanted to support the developing countries through the strengthening the country office, regional office, sub-regional office. Capacity building is my real purpose, how to reform the country office. You can count on me. I will try my best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director General, for those words. Delegates and observers, FAO Director General, we have completed all the scheduled activities satisfactorily. We have fulfilled the mandate entrusted to us for this 38th Regional Conference. I want to take this opportunity as we approach the conclusion of the 38th Latin American Regional Conference and Caribbean Regional Conference. I am filled with a profound sense of gratitude and optimism. Over the past 4 days, we have witnessed remarkable discussions, collaborations, and insights that we have undoubtedly enriched our collective understanding and efforts. I want to express my sincere appreciation to each and every one of you. First of all, I want to thank the Director General, FAO, for all his support and vision and for staying on for the full conference.
Yes.
And I think we should give him a big round of applause.
Thank you. First time I stay a whole conference. Of course, I was planning to others, but due to the unpredictable agent, I said I'm not a typical Chinese. I'm a little Latino Chinese.
So I've been looking forward for his other visit to Guyana so that he can explore other regions of our country. Secondly, I want to thank also my good friend, our Assistant Director General, Mr. Mario, for his stewardship of the conference. Our distinguished heads of delegation and their members of delegation, panelists, moderators, the FAO organizing committee, Ambassador or Rapporteur who just concluded the report, who served and did an excellent job of keeping the meeting appraised of the outcome and decisions. The Secretary to the conference, Dr. Eve Crowley, who served most efficiently as Secretary for the entire process, and our own Dr. Gillian Smith, FAO's representative in Guyana, for her tireless efforts in pulling things together. Our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Harper and Evelyn, who work closely with us in planning. And of course, I should mention the hard-working team of the Ministry of Agriculture of Guyana that was on the ground throughout and worked beyond the call of duty. To all of you mentioned, or otherwise, your contributions have been invaluable in making this conference a resounding success. Throughout this conference, we have delved into critical issues affecting our region. Some are advancing fisheries, the DG just spoke about it, aquaculture towards sustainability under the Blue Transformation approach, targeted investment for resilience, sustainable and inclusive agri-food system under the Hand-in-Hand initiative, reducing hunger and malnutrition for today and tomorrow through trade as strategic driver of food security in the region, amongst others. The depth and breadth of our discussions reflect the passion, expertise, and dedication of everyone involved. As we reflect on the past 4 days, let us not only celebrate our achievements, but also recognize the challenges that lies ahead. Our work does not end with the closing of this conference. Rather, it serves as a catalyst for ongoing collaboration, innovation, and action. I urge myself and each one of you to carry forward the knowledge, insights, and connections gained during this 38th LAC conference. Let us translate our discussions into tangible initiatives and projects that drive positive change in our country. Furthermore, let us remain steadfast in our commitment to inclusivity, diversity, and equity. By embracing a wide range of perspectives and experiences, we can ensure that our solutions are holistic, sustainable, and responsive to the needs of all stakeholders. Going forward, there must be clear focus on greater use of technology in food production system. A center of excellence now is being developed in Guyana. Involvement of youth and women. In Guyana, we have a target of 35% of all new farms must be owned by women and young people. Agriculture is just one component of food production system, which also involves technology, transportation, and logistics, and processing and value addition. And this too must be included. Creating resilience and climate-protected agri-food systems is an important imperative task going forward. And decision-making must be data-driven as far as possible. As we leave, let us carry forward the spirit of collaboration, innovation, and unity that defines LARC. Together we can achieve great things and create a brighter tomorrow for a generation to come. In closing, I want to reiterate our gratitude to everyone who have contributed to the success of the 38th conference of FAO in Latin America and the Caribbean. Your passion, dedication, and vision inspire us all to strive for a better future for Latin America, the Caribbean, and the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. But before, it's everything is not finished. That's my personal recognition to my colleagues, Maria Lubkin. And because he, he's very famous in this region, but before I came, he was a former director of, also director of the cabinet, worked with Mr. Gajan. But I remind him, and during the past 5 years, so he worked very hard, and finally, last 2 years, I transferred him to here and to make his last contribution before his retirement. Yeah. So I know this is the first regional conference for him, and also maybe last. I don't know.
You get the target.
Thank you, and good luck in the year of the dragon, and 迈步向前，共同进步. So there is, let's forward together and upward together. Thank you. Well, it's not easy.
I can invite heads of delegation so we could take a closing picture with the Director General right by the stairs in front of the immersion room. Thank you.